If you've noticed your allergies have been getting worse lately, you're likely not imagining it. According to an allergist in Bangor, the last few years have seen people's allergies intensify. He attributes this to climate change as warmer weather and higher levels of carbon dioxide have caused trees and grass to release more pollen. Ways to help manage this is to check the pollen count on your phone before heading outside or by wearing a mask or long sleeves. But the overall best practice, if you can, is avoidance. If not, there are other ways to mitigate symptoms like over-the-counter medication.
Other than avoidance, sometimes we can use the over-the-counter medication to help, but you just need to know that is not, unfortunately, it's not a cure. They can help with your symptom. Depends on which part of the organ system got affected. Itching eye, you can use eye drops. For a lot of sneezing or the nasal drainage, you can do the nasal spray. And then of course, you can take oral allergy meds, can help with the overall, allergy symptoms.
You can find a local pollen forecast by going to pollen.com.